This week on the Cynical Optimists,
Skrulls in X-Men,
Banjo in Smash Brothers,
and we look at the rest of the news from E3 in our discussion.
Hello and welcome to the Cynical Optimist podcast, the only piece of media in 2019 that doesn't feature Keanu Reeves. I'm Phill.
And I am Nick. You can't rule it out.
I said this year, it's only because
Okay.
it's the season finale and I don't think you've got him there with you your end.
Well, save that till later on.
Oh, big surprise. God, this episode's going to go over if we're talking to Keanu Reeves as well as doing E3 2019. But yeah, it seems like he's been in everything. It seems like it's all been in the last month as well.
Yeah, it's nice because he's just popping up everywhere and everyone's talking about how wholesome he is. He's in when he's posing with women in photographs, he's never actually got his arms on them or anything like that. It's all very. He just seems like a very respectful bloke, doesn't he?
That's the thing. I'm glad that the popular culture is highlighting someone that genuinely seems quite nice. For a change.
Yes. Keanu for president.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he has any time in his busy schedule, appearing in this, that, and the other. But yeah, so this is the podcast all about film, TV, and gaming news. And this week the topic is E3 2019, the year's biggest gaming show. And so in the gaming, we won't have a gaming discussion, gaming news section and discussion. We'll just do the film and TV news and then get right on to the E3 stuff and the stuff that's come from the E3 stuff.
Exactly.
I'm such a good orator.
Phil, how you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Nah, I got some news. I watched. This isn't really news itself, but I watched Rocket Man this week at last. I've been meaning to see it for ages. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been hearing it's pretty good. I think my parents went to see it. They were telling me today.
Yeah.
Although, obviously, my dad called it Yellow Brick Road.
What? That's not a logical title at all. Still works. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of, in my eyes, it makes up for Kingsman 2 because it's kind of got a lot of similar creative team behind it, and Kingsman 2 was awful. So there you go.
See, I'm still not in the camp that it was awful. I'm in the camp that it was not as good as the first one.
Nah,
and had some very regrettable decisions.
Straight in the awful camp for me. But something that might not be in the awful camp is the trailer for Pennyworth. Have you seen this?
No, when did this come out? I've seen quite a few of the trailers this week, but...
do you know what it's about first? Before just telling
it's
you the
about
title?
Alfred being in London in the past, isn't it? It's like a prequel.
In the past, yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know when DC sets their modern stuff, because some of them will be quite vague with the year. Some of them are like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's current year now, so therefore it's the 60s.
I mean, Gotham was kind of a weird mix. They all drove 70s cars, but I think they had flip phones in them as well. I don't really know. But yeah, it's that kind of vague past. And the trailer actually looks pretty good. It's probably worth checking out later if you haven't seen it yet. It's going to be R-rated. You get to see some Thomas Wayne action. Oh, he's ever so British as well, is Alfred.
It's... thing is, I can't think of Pennyworth or the Alfred thing without thinking of the joke from, I think it's the Teen Titans Go to the Movies, where they're giving trailers and shows to everyone apart from the Teen Titans, and one of them is an Alfred show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. But no, it actually looks it looks decent. What else can I tell you? Oh, it is 1960s. It does say here.
Okay.
1960s London, but it's not the London we know. I don't know. It's it's happening. That's all I can say about it, really.
I can't wait for there to be one episode and it to get cancelled.
Probably, yeah. I'm trying to like expand on like what we see we see Thomas Wayne and we see Alfred. I don't think there's any Easter eggs towards anything else, but I could be mistaken. I watched the trailer once. It might not even look that good. It's coming to Epix, whatever that is.
Probably some American cable channel, isn't it?
I'm just having a flick through. Yeah, there's someone from Peaky Blinders plays his dad. I think.
Alfred's dad.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's some horses. The villain. Oh, it's that guy.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
I can totally see what you're seeing right now. That guy.
Oh, and there's the stinger at the end. You'll love this. You know you love a good stinger at the end.
Oh yeah.
The stinger at the end of this trailer is something like his dad turning around and he's like, "You ought to bloody sharpen yourself up, or you'll be a bloody butler by the time you're 40," or something like that.
Oh, I see. It's foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
Good's a strong word.
Speaking of things, have you seen the trailer for Doctor Sleep?
I think so. I've read a lot. I've seen all the tweets about it.
This is a sequel to The Shining.
Yes, I did hear about this.
Focusing on the kid from The Shining who used to ride around on his little bike, but now he's all grown up and he's seeing red rum in the mirror or whatever he's seeing. I can't watch a trailer with anything with Ewan McGregor in without all the comments be full of Obi-Wan quotes, which I think is kind of great.
See, I even did it. Poor Ewan McGregor.
Did you just say poor Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
No,
you can't get away from
that. I mean, he should just go ahead and do a Star Wars Solo movie, because I still kind of want to see that.
See, I think from what I hear, he's more than up for it, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's just whether Disney will do it. I think, given recent film receptions and stuff like that, they'll probably just do it just to like get some good PR and. Yeah.
But this looks suitably scary. The Shining. I mean, I love The Shining. I love everything Stanley Kubrick's ever done, and Stephen King. You know, it's a match made in heaven. But this new film, it's got lots of references to the original. Who else is in it? Ewan McGregor. I don't know who's directing it. Not like a big director, I don't think. But it returns to the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah, and a lot of shots taken straight from The Shining and stuff like that, or allude to it.
Yeah, I think they're recreated. I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks interesting. I'll definitely give it a go. How long can you give between putting a sequel to a film that happened? I thought Blade Runner was holding the record, but this seems to have.
I was gonna say, Mary Poppins probably holds a longer record, right?
Ah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this one isn't because of years and years of Disney trying to get the copyrights back from the estate, but
yeah. Is there a longer? Is that the longest one? Mary Poppins must be the longest one. Is there anything longer than that?
Must be.
Oh, can you count Wizard of Oz? You did a prequel, didn't they? Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there was another film in the middle.
Was there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And there was Wicked, I guess, as well, which I don't think has been made into a film, but obviously was a book and a stage show.
Okay. Avatar might nip the record. Give it another 50 years until Avatar 2 happens.
But when the sequels start coming, they'll be coming every 2 years until Avatar 5. Whether you want them or not.
31st of October, so there you go.
Oh, they're going right for that Halloween release date.
Yeah. Last week we spoke about X-Men Dark Phoenix. Did we talk about how we thought they were originally going to be Skrulls at the end of that film?
We did, yeah.
Oh, by the way, spoilers for Dark Phoenix, but who cares? Basically, Ty Sheridan went on a podcast recently and pretty much admitted that the Skrulls were supposed to be the final villain in that movie. I've got the full quote here if you want to hear it.
Sure.
Right. Originally, it was scripted that Charles and Scott go to the UN because they go to the UN that they're trying to tell the president that, hey, we're under attack by aliens. Now they've captured Jean Grey. And then Jean comes down in front of the UN and there is a huge battle between the guards at the UN and Jean, and all the guards turn out to be Skrulls, and then Jean and Scott is fighting Skrulls in the fountain. He gets thrown into the fountain in front of the UN, and then Jean comes down and basically fights off the Skrulls, and then blasts back into space and says goodbye to Scott and Charles, and then it's all over, I guess.
That's an interesting one, considering that the third act of that movie, that must... Because I obviously know a lot of it was reshot, but that's major changes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, obviously, as soon as Disney took it over, I'm guessing they probably just put a strike straight through the Skrulls, because I think there was some ambiguity as to who owned the Skrulls, so Fox and Disney were going to use them at the same time. A bit like...
Quicksilver.
A bit like Quicksilver. Yeah, so at one point we were going to get 2 Skrull movies this year, which would have been quite cool, but... I'm kind of glad this doesn't happen because I really liked how the Skrulls were used in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but you didn't need to rewrite everything. Maybe they ended up putting it on a train because the replacement CG just didn't look as good, so they needed it to be nice and dark.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it was I think the stuff on the train was quite cool, but then the stuff immediately after was kind of weak.
Yeah, but the stuff in the train must have been added later, because I'm not sure how that scene on the train is supposed to get to the UN.
No, maybe. Well, yeah, who knows?
Who knows? I wouldn't be interested to see, no.
No, I wouldn't. But, speaking of things you may be interested to see, there's more news on the Justice League Snyder Cut.
Oh yes.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's go. We can make another Synoptic clip and have people dislike it because we're making fun of the Snyder Cut.
Not a lot of people like that. Well, yeah. First of all, Ray Fisher has come out and said that he really wants to see the Snyder Cut released. He played Cyborg in the movie for about 5 minutes. But also, the fans that are running the petition to release the Snyder Cut have paid $20,000 to fly a banner over San Diego Comic-Con saying #release the Snyder Cut.
Okay, that's people with a lot of money. I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Oh my god.
I'll say what I said way back when we did that Synop clip. I would see it, I guess.
I would see it, but I don't care about it. I don't think it will make the film any better.
Well, plus they've
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it'll make the film worse.
Ooh, Phil.
Obviously, there can be 2 versions. You can have your preferred version, but like we said at the time, Justice League is a great popcorn flick.
Yeah.
And I think the Snyder Cut probably adds in a lot of that BS that weighed down the early
BVS.
DC films. Yeah, the BS and BVS. Yeah.
I don't actually mind Batman v Superman. I think it's got some interesting ideas in it. The execution isn't perfect, I'll admit, but visually it's quite interesting. And I think, maybe I'd be interested to see this purely because I think Zack Snyder has quite a cool vision at least, but I don't think it's going to make the movie any better. Plus, who cares about Ben Affleck's gone, Henry Cavill's gone. This is not even a thing anymore.
I was going to say the DC thing. It's not really worth getting excited about anymore.
No, exactly.
Not worth getting excited about the larger universe.
No, I reckon we'll get a good Justice League movie in 10 years with Robert Pattinson and I don't know, fucking Joaquin Phoenix is popping up. I don't know.
And probably Gal Gadot still.
Yeah, probably. It's the only one that was well received from the original lineup.
That's the thing. I'm looking forward to more Shazam. I'm looking forward to more Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I could really take it or leave it at this point. I don't really care what they do.
Yeah.
Like you say, Cavill's gone and Affleck's gone, and that's really annoying because Cavill's scenes in Justice League are probably the most I've liked him as Superman.
Yeah.
Especially when he like comes in and just like punches the guy at the end when he does his big hero show up moment.
You know what my
like
favorite?
It felt very Superman.
My favorite Superman bit was when he turns up at the end of Shazam and you can't see his face.
That's a pretty good bit as well, actually. Yeah.
I wish you saw his face. That was a really good scene because like it kind of expanded the universe slightly. It showed it kind of it. I think that's probably the best characterization of Superman we've had in the entire DC universe because it shows that like he cares about making the little people happy kind of thing. Like,
are we talking about like the 5 seconds of Superman's torso, not even his head?
Yeah, that's probably the best.
That is a major diss against all the against Man of Steel that you preferred the short scene where he doesn't even talk.
I think it shows more character than a lot of the... Like, we don't want to see him standing on a mountain talking to the ghost of his dad. We want to see him like getting out and like talking to kids in schools because he's a nice guy kind of thing, and he's not Batman.
No, I agree, and that's some of the most wholesome bits of, to be honest, like Spider-Man: Homecoming is the stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But there you go. Sorry, the rest of the DC films.
So this week there was a little show that went on in the US in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
You may have heard of it. They've done it a few times before. It's not that major. It's called E3.
Mm-hmm.
The Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Is that what it stands for? But there's only one E. Oh, 3 E's. Oh.
We've just blown Nick's mind and we've not even got to any of the announcements yet.
I was today years old when I realised.
I don't like that meme. I mean, it's like kind of funny, but at the same time I'm like, that's a silly way to say that. Anyway, so whilst Sony did not show up this year, they didn't have a show, there was obviously their PS4 games were shown off through the publishers that are going to be releasing on that platform. But for this, I'm just going to go through from the pre-show right the way through, picking up on kind of like the key bits from each show and then anything that's happened in the days since. So this means going back over to before E3 even began to Google, which is a new one.
Oh yeah.
To the Google Stadia Connect presentation, which was very, very blatantly ripping off the format of Nintendo's Directs. Anyway, so from the people that bought you Google and Google Maps, but they also bought you Google Glasses, Google Plus, and YouTube Gaming, comes the Google Stadia. So this was a roughly 30-minute Stadia Connect. And it covers the platform because they're very clear. It's a platform. It's not a console because there's no physical bit to it.
Yeah.
So it goes over the launch titles, the cost, and the internet speed you would need to use it.
Oh.
So which one do you want me to go over first? You've got the speed, the launch titles, the launch price, and the games.
Why don't you go over speed whilst I look up my internet speed?
Oh, that sounds like fun. So, the minimum you would require for Google Stadia is 10 megabits per second.
Hang on, but I'm just comparing mine.
Are you doing a speed test on that?
Literally as we speak. Download speed of what?
10 megabits per second.
18.6.
Okay, so you'd be able to run stuff at 720p, 60 frames per second in stereo.
Huh.
The next rank up by their recommendations is 25 megabits per second, which is 1080p, high definition. Well, 60 frames per second, 5.1 surround.
Yep.
And then the max for 4K is 35 megabits per second, which is 4K, 60 frames, 5.1.
Right. Okay.
So
and does it automatic? I'm guessing it automatically adjusts because your internet speed isn't like totally in the same place all the time, is it? So
because the big thing they're saying of this is it's streaming.
Yes.
So like it's like, oh, our servers are running the game, you're just streaming it to your machine. And apparently the Google Stadia controller, which follows pretty much what is now the standard controller design. I think you get your Xbox 360 controllers, your Switch Pro controllers. It's only really PlayStation ones that are different. It's that kind of design. And apparently the controller connects to the server rather than to your TV. Kind of... Because that's kind of like a latency thing for you playing the game.
Right, yeah.
And you can do it to any screen and all this stuff. But obviously some people in the US still don't have very good internet. Some people in the UK still don't have very good internet. Some people worldwide still don't have very good internet, so that's going to be a bit of a blocker. And also some people are limited on how much data they can use as part of their plans. Because PC Gamer worked out that 65 hours of the Google Stadia at 4K was roughly the equivalent to 1 terabyte in data.
Jeez.
So that's only a few hours playing each day to get up to that number, and there's some people that are very serious in their playing.
Crikey.
So yeah, that's because I'm just kind of going over the headlines, and then we'll get into kind of some of the caveats and considerations if you're going to pick up the Stadia. Well, I say pick up the Stadia, subscribe or join Stadia, because again, there's nothing physical.
There's nothing to pick up apart from the controller, which you need.
Yeah, or a Google Chromecast. So, the launch stuff. So, the only type of membership that was talked about in the Stadia Connect was Stadia Pro.
Right.
And how much will this cost you each month, Nick?
£25.
A month?
Is it not? This is the Pro one, right?
This is Stadia Pro. So bear in mind, you have to buy the games on top.
Right. Oh, maybe less then.
It's $10 a month.
For just...
So that's just...
the existence of it.
Yeah.
That's like having Netflix account without having any titles on Netflix.
Well, the thing is, I think the better comparison may be Amazon Prime, because Amazon Prime has its stuff on Prime, and from what they've described very vaguely, there will be games available kind of, through the service, but they don't make any kind of promises about that.
Right, okay.
But obviously Amazon still has the stuff that you can buy on top to stream.
Yeah, but Amazon has original TV shows and films and stuff that you can stream when you subscribe to Prime.
That is a very interesting point. The Stadia, from what I could pick up, does not have any exclusives.
Wow.
Or at least they may have a few indie titles. But anyway, so there is a Founders Edition that you can get.
Yeah.
For the Google Stadia, which comes with Destiny 2 Complete Edition, a controller, a Google Chromecast Ultra,
right,
3 months of Stadia Pro membership for you and a friend, and you get to pick your username now.
Wow.
And
how much does that set you back?
$129. So, I mean, if you can consider that the controller is $70, which is actually about the industry standard for controllers.
Is it? I thought they were about... Well, PlayStation ones are about 50 quid.
That's roughly it. It's around, in the UK, I'd say they're between 40 and 60 quid for controllers.
Yeah.
So that $70 is about equivalent. And then obviously the 6 months of free Stadia membership, that's $60. So
yeah.
It's still not... I still wouldn't pay that. I still wouldn't want it. But anyway, that's everything that the Founders Edition comes with.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's go on to the games. So, one of the games that was on a lot of the screens and they were using for a lot of their demos, and they used for one of their tests last year actually, was Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
It's also getting Doom Eternal, The Elder Scrolls Online, Marvel's Avengers is confirmed to be coming to the
Oh, really?
Stadia. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a few indie titles as well, which one is called Get Packed, which
Right.
looks quite interesting. It's you've played Overcooked at mine, yeah?
Yes.
It's like Overcooked, but you're helping your friend to move. So it's that kind of pick stuff up, kind of party game style.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
So it's a decent showing of games, and they were very, very keen to be like, look at all these developers and publishers that are backing us. And it had a lot of the big names there. You've got some that are definitely going more in than others, like Ubisoft are like really on board. Square Enix less so, they're talking about doing their own service.
Oh, right,
which
okay.
we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
So now let's get on to the caveats. So now, one of those I said was the amount of data it would use. But let's talk about some other concerns about the system. One, you still have to buy games on top of the subscription.
Yeah.
And if there are because the thing about physical games is you can buy them from multiple places. And the thing about PC games as well is you can buy keys. I've got concerns about whether you'd only be able to buy these games through the Google Store.
Yes.
So that's kind of one concern. The second is that it was stated as play anywhere, but it really, really isn't. It's play anywhere with a good internet connection.
And we've got a TV and a Chromecast with electrical outlets, etc. as well.
Yeah, so it's not like the Switch, which literally is play anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd say that...
I suppose you could plug your Chromecast into one of those little portable DVD players if it's got a HDMI in.
Well, the thing is, you can...
Or a laptop.
You will be able to get it on your phone. At first, it will only be the Google Pixel phones that will be able to do it, but they are rolling it out to phones and tablets.
Okay.
So arguably... But then the question is, how good would it be to play like a full console release on a tablet? And also, I'm guessing you'd have to take the controller with you still, and again, like, you're not going to get good enough internet in a coffee shop or on a train.
No.
So it's a bit of a yeah, it is technically, you could technically play it anywhere, but
I think it's just I'm actually quite optimistic about this, because I think it is probably quite a good indication of what we're moving towards, and sustainability, and the fact that you don't have to produce the console anymore and saving all that plastic and hardware and stuff, and the shipping costs.
Yes, and well, whilst that's good, that kind of almost neatly brings me on to my third one, which is the last one. I've got like a long list of gripes here.
Yeah.
So my third one is, it's described as cheap gaming for the masses. This is one of those big selling points, but let's actually break that down properly. So, the only subscription method we know at the moment is the $10 a month Pro. So, assuming you just want to use one of your pre-existing controllers, which you can do, fair enough, or your mouse and keyboard, that's all you're going to pay. So, the Nintendo Switch launched at $300. The PS4 and Xbox One launched at $400. The question then becomes, how long does your console last?
Yes.
Because at the 3-year mark, I will have paid less money per month for my Switch than I would have for a Google Stadia. At the 3.5-year mark, the same is true for the PS4.
But I guess, like, this is kind of like the first of this new generation. Like, I think I agree there are going to be a lot of kinks, but like, I think it will evolve. It probably will evolve in the same way that now cars and mobile phones and things are all going to be done via, basically, you're just subscribing to something.
Yeah, and that's kind of...
Rather than buying outright, because, I think...
But that also means that you never truly earn any of your games, but the price will still be the same.
You never truly own?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said that about music.
Yeah, I know they say that about music and about
DVDs,
films. Yeah. This is also Google, And Google actually have a very long history of killing off these services.
That's true. I mean, I think if anything, it's just like it's probably not going to be perfect, but like I think it's going to encourage competitors to start something like this, because I'd eventually like to see something similar to this, but like more subscription based. You get like the sort of the better title games and stuff as a. That's why I thought $25 a month originally. I was like, okay, maybe you pay that and you get like a couple of titles every month kind of thing. So like, because you know me, I pick up a game and like Assassin's Creed. I didn't play Odyssey, but I played the one before.
Origins,
yeah. I picked it up for like a couple of weeks, and then it's just kind of at the back of a drawer now. And I think, yeah, like environmentally and logically, I think it's going to be good when eventually we move towards something more subscription based.
I think though we're already moving towards digital purchases. Like physical media is already on the decline, and obviously producing the consoles is quite not great for the environment, but you still need some kind of electronic device to play it on.
Yeah, of course.
So it's almost as if pick your poison: either have a TV and a cast, or have a Switch instead of your Chromecast. It's still not amazing.
No.
I think my big issue is that with Netflix and with Spotify and things like that, you still are only paying the entry fee.
Yes.
So if Netflix went down tomorrow, I'd be a bit annoyed, but I've not lost anything.
Yes, that's true.
If Google Stadia doesn't take off and Google decide to gut it, or any of these services, I suppose the same is true of Steam, but I can download my Steam games onto my hard drive and then I've got them.
Yes.
But if the Stadia went down, they're like, we're not doing it anymore. If you've bought like...
What you're saying is Google are likely to cancel something.
Yeah, as unbelievable as that is.
Having worked on it for several years.
But it's true of any of these systems. And like... I'm just not a big fan of paying on top of the subscription price. I'd actually potentially rather pay £25 per month, like you're saying, and not pay anything more. But I know there's a lot of it as well is Google trying to get the developers on board, because they don't want to devalue obviously the sale price of their own games.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I know, we'll see. I'm not super excited by it, but if you want an interesting time, there is an actual website called killedbygoogle.com, which lists everything. And my God, it's actually quite long.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, there's so many things they've tried and then just ditched.
I'm looking up that website now on my Google glasses.
I'll be sure to share it on my Google Plus page later. But enough about Google's strange foray into gaming. Let's get back to the
Shut up, Google, you're done. Let's move on.
Let's move on to the companies that have been making games since before
Google was born.
Before Google was born, yes. So let's start with the first pre-E3 thing, which was on the Saturday, I think, which was the Nintendo Invitational Tournaments. So this was esports. They started off with the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational, which they invited 4 YouTubers along, and they had to race through courses designed by the kind of Nintendo team. And that was actually really fun. I enjoyed watching that. It had a guy called The Completionist who does quite a good YouTube gaming show as one of the competitors, along with a few like other YouTubers who did Let's Plays of the first Super Mario Maker. Like, they played lots of randomly generated courses. So that was like a fun little contest to watch and showed off a lot of features of the games. Then they did this Splatoon 2 World Championship. I like Splatoon, I don't play it, but it was kind of interesting. And then they finished off with a Smash Bros 3 vs 3 World Championship, which confused me because all the teams seemed to have 4 people in them.
Why?
So I was just a bit like, how is it 3v3?
was one of them passing the controller as they went?
Well, the thing is, like, it was 3v3, but then it was like, okay, this first round, it's going to be a 1v1 and a 2v2. It's like, yeah, that's technically 3v3, but it's not 3v3, is it, really? I suppose it made some interesting dynamics because you had to choose which two of your team members would fight together and which one would fight alone, kind of thing. It's all really interesting. Nintendo does some quite good esports tournaments, and it's a good way to start E3 as well. I think they just kind of they take whatever big game of they're trying to push at the time, which in this case is Mario Maker 2, and then have two of their actual esports games there to be like, oh, and here's the serious stuff. The first conference or show, which because they called it EA Play, I forgot it was even their press conference. I thought it was just a live stream.
Yeah.
It was EA Play, where they literally, apart from Jedi Fallen Order gameplay, literally no surprises or announcements. What they had at their conference was Star Wars, FIFA 20,
Oh yeah.
Madden, some new Sims 4 DLC, and I think that was it.
Oh yeah. What's FIFA 20 looking like?
Believe it or not, you play football.
Oh yeah. It's pretty similar to FIFA 19 then.
Although they're adding basically they're adding FIFA Street mode into it, so there'll be like five-a-side teams playing like tarmac fields or whatever.
Okay.
Neat, but at the same time, it's like I don't know why EA think these are such massive reveals. Another new year, another new iteration in all the yearly sports games.
Are they adding more dismemberment to FIFA 20? Because that's what people were chanting for EA to do, right?
They've heard your voices and your concerns, and they are gonna do another FIFA anyway. So literally, let's talk about the only thing of note, which was the Fallen Order gameplay. I think it looks fine. It looks like it'll be alright. It'll be quite fun.
I really wanted it to be pretty spectacular, but it just looks fine, doesn't it? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I guess it depends on a good script, or does it? I'm not sure. It's a bit different with game story modes, isn't it? Because
I think that the story seems like it's going to be fine. Like this game seems like it's playing it pretty safe.
I'm a long-time apologist of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and part of that reason is because I thought the story mode was actually really interesting in that it's swapped between ship battles and first-person or third-person shootout as well. It's it had some different dynamics as you went along.
I think if this has a lot of good planets and a lot of interesting missions and some interesting boss fights, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did nothing to wow me. But at the same time, it was fine. Like it didn't do anything to majorly disappoint me. Like the cool thing was obviously stopping blasts in midair.
Kylo Ren style.
Yeah. Which seems like it's a dark side power, but this Jedi was like, nope.
Well,
and then at one point he stops it in midair and then drags a stormtrooper into it, which I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But aside from that, we'll probably play it when it comes out later this year.
Yeah, for sure. This is something that people were complaining about. They didn't like the lack of dismemberment from your lightsaber, which, I mean, you are swinging a lightsaber back and forth. Like, there should be a bit more, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it would risk looking more goofy than actually cool.
What, hands flying about and stuff?
Yeah, it looked, and it would kind of highlight the ragdoll physics, and all you'd take is a physics engine tweak, and you'd end up with people's body parts that's spraying everywhere. I just think it would.
Yeah.
And also it goes against the whole Jedi thing of not using excessive force.
Well,
if you're just leaving dismembered body parts in your wake. I mean, you're still killing those stormtroopers, but
Yeah. With some flair, to be fair. I think he enjoyed it. I think he enjoyed it.
What, the Jedi?
Yeah, definitely. He looked like he was having fun. This is the motion capture of Cameron Monaghan, who you would know from Gotham. As
big
Jeremiah / Joker / Jezza / whatever else they decided to call him in the end. But yeah, we'll definitely play it.
And that's literally everything from from EA. I almost said it E3.
From E3. We're done.
Yeah, see you next year. So next was the Microsoft E3 conference. So this was the one I watched live because there's already speculation about some kind of Nintendo-Microsoft partnership, and I was like, maybe there'll be something here. But no, there was some interesting stuff though. The ones I wrote down at the time was the Lego expansion for Forza Horizons 4 that turns it into Lego Racers, which looks amazing. It looks absolutely ridiculous, and I like that the Forza games, as time has gone on, have taken themselves less and less seriously.
Yeah, definitely. They used to be like a Gran Turismo alternative, didn't they?
There was Keanu Reeves showing up in the Microsoft E3 press conference to show off some more of Cyberpunk 2077, which, to be fair, does look really good. Did you see him doing his presentation?
I haven't actually watched it, but I've seen all the memes. Yeah,
because there's a guy in the he says the game is breathtaking, and someone in the audience shouts, "You're breathtaking!"
Yeah.
And there's the meme of him like turning around and pointing at the screen, which I've seen quite a few.
Yeah.
We saw the first. Well, I don't think it's the first, but we saw some more of the new Halo. It was just kind of a story trailer.
Right.
The new Halo was confirmed as coming to Xbox's next console.
Oh.
Which is called Project Scarlet at the moment.
The Xbox 2.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. Other games that made their debut was Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
Yes. Let's talk about
that. I think
we've had quite a lot of information on this suddenly, haven't we? Actually, like after the initial presentation, there's been a few more details revealed.
Because it's going to be quite. I know there's going to be a few planets. It's going to be quite open world in like the overworld.
Yeah, they're sort of shaking it out because I initially I was like, is this just like a remaster of the originals plus whatever else they've done? But this seems like a whole new thing.
Which is good because, like, arguably the first 7 they could just stick in from the games they've already made.
Yeah, to be fair, like that original the complete saga Lego Star Wars, I think, was one of my favourite games as a kid. And this has actually gotten me really excited for this one as well.
I think it'll be good. Yeah, I think the Lego games, the Lego Star Wars ones were some of the best ones, just because of the fact that the Star Wars universe translated so well into it.
Yeah.
Although I find the Lego series in general just kind of meandering now. None of the recent releases have really excited me, like. And this one only excites me because it's just Lego Star Wars.
Well, I think they've said that they are sort of. I don't think it's going to be quite the same kind of. Because it used to be. I know it's always been 3D, but it used to be kind of like fixed camera. Straight on kind of thing. Whereas now I think. I can't remember where I heard this, but I'm pretty sure they've said it's going to be a bit more like you got control of the camera and where you put them and everything. So it should play like considerably differently to the original saga.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be good. I'm, looking forward to it. I hope you can play just any episode straight out.
Yes, that'd be good.
So I can play them in a weird order, just for fun. Other stuff from Microsoft conference was there's a remaster of Age of Empires 2 coming, so I like that game, so that's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Part of me is asking why, but what I think they're doing is testing the water for an Age of Empires 4. Microsoft Flight Simulator is getting a new version.
Oh.
If you wanna using like fucking Bing Maps, I think. But it is like using like real shot on a camera footage for like. So at the very least, it'll make a reasonably pleasant, like chilled out experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a list open of everything that was announced. So the Bethesda one, I think, came next in the line. This was in the middle of the night in the UK time, so I did not watch it. Doom Eternal still looks good. The Doom reboot was really good, so I'm excited for that. Fallout 76 is getting an expansion.
Alright, okay.
Which, from what I read, adds NPCs and quests back into the game. not back in, adds them into the game full stop.
Oh, did they
And
not
people
already
were like-
have those?
Well, the thing is, the whole pitch of Fallout 76 was
It is.
like,
It's
players
just
will,
online.
yeah, and players will make their own fun, and like all the quests given free of PCs and stuff.
Yeah.
But no one really liked that. So now they're like, we're adding in NPCs and quite like proper quest stories again. Hooray! We're adding this in. Cheer us. So I thought that was pretty funny. There was a interesting trailer for a game called Deathloop shown, coming from Bethesda,
Oh yeah.
where it seems like Groundhog Day. So you're like doing the same day over and over, making different decisions and trying to like do it.
Okay.
Not much was shown about the actual gameplay, but the trailer kind of shows this married couple having dinner, and she's got him a gift. He's like, "Oh, I know what that is. It's this and this and this. I know that you did this thing in your past." And she's like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you saying this?" He's like, "This has happened before. It's happened before. A policeman's about to turn up at that door, asking us about it." And it looks like it could be quite interesting. It looks a bit like trippy.
Does it play like a Telltale game, and then but with your decisions, you just change each time?
I don't. That's the thing. Nothing was really shown of it. It looks like quite a small scale game though, because the trailer all takes place top down view in this person's flat.
Oh, okay.
So it could be quite narrative driven.
Yeah.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
The Square Enix conference.
Ah, yes.
They showed off more of the Final Fantasy VII remake, and that they're remastering Final Fantasy VIII. Trials of Mana, which is like a collection of all the Mana games, which are supposedly quite good JRPGs, has come in.
Yeah.
But again, this one in the UK was in the middle of the night, so I did not see it.
Wait, hold on. Can I go back a sec? Wait, they're remastering Final Fantasy VIII, but releasing...
Remaking Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So...
I was like, wait a minute. That's the wrong order.
I don't think they really care. They're just like, let's do this thing now. But yeah, apparently quite a lot of people were quite happy about the stuff that Square Enix announced, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft. So this one I did catch.
Square Enix. Was that not...
Sorry, did you have more to say on Square Enix?
Did they not do the Avengers game?
Oh yeah. Sorry, it wasn't on my list.
How was that on you?
But even though we just talked
about it. This is like the most
about it.
I've ever paid attention to E3 in my life.
Yeah, sorry, I just think JRPGs when I think of Square Enix. But yes, the Avengers game gameplay was shown.
It was a trailer. It was a gameplay trailer, right?
It was showing gameplay, but obviously in that very smooth style of it all going perfectly, and the characters knowing what they're doing, etc.
Yeah.
Shows us some first bits of the story, which I think is quite interesting.
Cap dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, because like that can't be permanent, can it?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, it's a comic book, so probably not. But
Well, also
they're like,
because I don't
play as all your favourite Avengers, not Captain America though. Beyond Mission 1.
Well, there's also these there's these rumours and stuff that it's set within the same. This is now a gaming universe of Spider-Man and this Avengers game, because obviously like this is quite a worn-in universe. So they could always slot stuff in front of this game and stuff, and so you can play as Cap eventually, kind of thing. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, there was a post, because I was just doing a last-minute flick through before we recorded. There was a post on Destructoid talking about it, and they said that supposedly what Square Enix is trying to do with this Avengers game is build like a base, and then they're going to start adding stories into it a lot.
Right.
So this, as much as this sets off the alarm in my head of, games as a service, there's going to be lots of extra costs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It does seem like they might be taking a kind of a comic booky approach.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what that's pretty much what Spider-Man did as well with its DLC.
And to be honest, if you've made this engine and made all these characters, movesets and like physics and all that, you might as well like
expand on it.
Yeah, have a few stories and like you can have some like different missions. You could make allusions to different comics and stuff like that.
So we've heard at some point that this game is kind of drop in, drop out as different Avengers, right? On a multiplayer.
That seems to be the way, yeah. Because obviously they show that a bit. They show that a bit in the intros. That you go like, you do a section as Iron Man, you do a section as a Hulk, you do a section as Thor. And from reading this, it seems the co-op is meant to be a bit more like drop in, drop out, like you say.
Right, yeah.
Like,
so presumably it puts you in just kind of like a party of like 5 online players or something like that. Presumably it's not like one story and every single player is dropping in and out as many Avengers they can stretch to.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, because how I imagined it was kind of almost like the Lego Marvel game where you'll do a little bit as one character and then there'll be a very short like transition and then you're playing as a different character.
Yeah.
So like you're making your way through missions as like short bursts as each one yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd enjoy playing with 5 random people. I think if you could get like a, you know, if you and what's the meme at the moment? Me and the lads or whatever. Me and the gang.
Me and the boys.
Me and the boys about to tear open this new Avengers game. And like you were playing it together, I reckon that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I think you'd have some fights over who would want to be each hero, unless it was just randomly.
If they've all got their own unique styles and stuff, then it could be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm generally looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
What do you think of the designs? Because that's a few people have moaned about this, haven't they?
Yes, that's been like the most contentious bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think they don't look good, but they look fine.
Yeah,
I don't think they should look like the actors.
No, although I think it's kind of odd that they do look like 2012 era film Avengers.
Yeah, no, they've definitely put themselves in a bit of a corner by being like, oh, they don't look like the actors, but this is the exact Avengers party from the Avengers.
Yeah, and it's kind
film.
of, and the design is like pretty similar, but like slightly off. So like some people have
it's more off-brand, isn't it?
Yeah, people have been comparing it to like an off-brand or like budget Avengers, and like the colours are very similar as well. I think they could have varied up the colours a little bit more. I think Iron Man looks pretty great. He's got a more sort of comic book kind of face.
Yes.
Not quite as angry eyes and as the movie version. So that's quite a cool differentiation. But the rest of the armour looks pretty similar. Thor looks a bit bigger than, well, because they're not sort of like as normal proportions necessarily as real people, obviously. Cap's a bit bulky, maybe. I'm not sure how good that looks. Although, who cares? Because he's only going to be in it for the first 5 minutes anyway. So.
Yeah, sure. Wink, wink.
But yeah, I know I don't necessarily have a problem with the design.
No, it's fine for what it is. I think. Like, I don't think it should look exactly like the movies, but I think if they don't want it to be associated with the movies, they should make it more different.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost stuck in a bit of a bad position there.
Yeah.
So just going for a bit more of this information that we've got on the game, there's going to be like skill trees and like customization, and also like visual customization, like different outfits and stuff. So I think it will be quite interesting actually.
Yeah. They could have just as you were saying, they should have just dropped in. Or like swapped out like one of the other Avengers for a different character.
Someone a bit more obscure.
Yeah.
To make it draw the comparison more to the comic Avengers than the movie Avengers.
Yes. No, exactly. Yeah, you could have dropped out. Who could you have dropped out? We've seen quite a lot of Thor recently. You could have dropped Thor out and put I don't know. It's not, but
even if you did something like put in Hank Pym's Ant-Man or something from the comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously in the original comics, it's him rather than Lang.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a quick picture that I've just seen. Actually, that is quite funny because I've clicked on an article about the Square Enix designs. I'll send you it and then I'll explain what the actual what it says, because the best kind of jokes are explained. pretty good. It's a picture of Thor from the game versus movie Thor, and it says, "You versus the guy she told you not to worry about." That classic one.
Yeah, looking at this Thor from the game up close, it's not amazing, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not really, is it? It doesn't look good at all, really, actually.
I was going to say, the more I see of it, the less I like it.
Yeah,
I've closed that now on purpose.
Yeah, I don't like looking at that. No. I mean, I don't know, they might refine those graphics a little bit before it's released.
Maybe.
They might change the design and push it back.
Yeah, they might do a full Sonic movie.
Yeah. You know, as it's not. I'm just thinking, it's not owned, as it's not licensed by Disney Studios or anything like that. They could have even put like some of the Fox-owned characters in there just to kind of like spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, you got to think they possibly could have, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Ubisoft, or have I forgotten?
Yeah, no, go on, let's move on.
So Ubisoft talked a lot this time about Watch Dogs Legion, which we mentioned last week in our news section, is the game that takes place in post-Brexit Britain.
Yes.
This one touts a lot of playable characters because you play one of like a group of like hackers, and you've got like a Cockney bloke.
Oh yeah.
And like an old lady assassin and stuff like that. So it looks pretty interesting. The gameplay seems fine for the most part. Pretty inoffensive, as were the first two Watch Dogs. Yeah, so that was quite interesting to watch. The gameplay showed them like doing this hacking, and also interestingly, you kind of have a group that you can choose from. But if any of them die, they're dead. It's permadeath.
Oh really?
But you like bring more people on board as the story goes on. So I think that could make for quite interesting, because like the narrative and like the dialogue changes little bits by what happens.
Yeah.
So that could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
The most kind of weird thing that happened during this show, because it's Ubisoft, was the new Just Dance game.
Right.
Obviously there was a musical section where people in panda costumes came out and danced.
Yeah.
And it was announced that Just Dance is going to be released for all current gen consoles and the Wii.
Right. The Wii?
The Wii.
Not the Wii U?
Not the Wii U. This is Just Dance 2020 is getting a Wii release.
The Wii?
The Wii.
Not the Wii U?
Not the Wii U.
2009's Wii.
Well, it's even before that. It's 2006's Wii, I'm pretty
2006.
sure.
Bloody hell.
So if you want to dust off that Wii and do some dancing, Ubisoft are here to help.
Someone's been holding off on buying that new console for so long, and they're now like, finally! I knew I didn't have to upgrade.
Vindication! And actually that distracted most people, because I was following her on the stream and on Twitter, that distracted most people from most of their other announcements. Like, a game for the Wii?
Yeah.
Aside from that,
does it even run on the Wii U?
Well, the Wii U can play Wii games, so
I'm
guessing that was their logic there.
Right.
Apart from that, Ubisoft's show was typical. You had a few shooty bang bang games.
Yeah.
Like Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon has some new stuff.
He's still knocking about.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is getting an update at some point about something or other. Like, Ubisoft's was actually, aside from that, it's pretty boring.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is being ported for the Wii.
Just Ubisoft's new thing is just making lots of stuff for the Wii. Although Ubisoft are quite on board with the Stadia, so maybe they'll just cut out the current gen consoles, and you'll have the choice of either Google Stadia or the Nintendo Wii. Like, you can have your physical release if you want it, but this is the price.
You have to go to CEX and see if there's an old Wii in the window for a tenner.
So yeah, some other stuff from just across the shows, just before we go on to Nintendo's Direct. There's new Dragon Ball Z game, looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
One of Japan's biggest MMOs is getting a worldwide release in Phantasy Star Online 2, so that was decent.
Mm-hmm.
And another mini console coming from Sega.
Right.
Of the Sega Genesis. So that's going to have Sonic 1 and 2, Earthworm Jim, Echo the Dolphin, and 35... so it looks like it's a total of like 40 games, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some interesting stuff between the cracks.
Yeah.
Now, the Nintendo Direct. This one opened pretty nicely with... Because obviously the new CEO is called Doug Bowser, Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
So it started off with the president of Japan, Nintendo Japan, and a CG Bowser.
Yeah.
And then Doug Bowser came in and was like, hold on, no, it's me, not you, it's me. And that was, it was a nice little nod to it.
Yeah.
Saw some more of Luigi's Mansion 3, which this time is a hotel.
Ooh.
So it seems like the Mario crew just cannot go on holiday without something happening. Either Mario gets arrested or gets his soul stolen. Typical holiday hijinks. Animal Crossing, the new Animal Crossing game, where you get your own private island, has been delayed to March 2020. But I'm just going to go ahead to the bit that I want to talk about. So the new Smash Bros. DLC, the first one announced at the beginning of the show was the hero from the Dragon Quest series. Now Dragon Quest is like the 4th best-selling JRPG series in the world.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. I've never played any of the games, but the Dragon Quest 11 is coming out on the Switch, so maybe I will.
Oh.
And Banjo-Kazooie have been announced for Smash.
Oh yeah, we all saw your tweet.
You did. I'm going to talk about it again.
Go on then.
So this is what people thought about in the Microsoft and Nintendo working together, because there'd been some rumours, and as part of Microsoft's tweet about the event, they showed the schedule and they included the Nintendo Direct on it. So people were like, a lot of people thought this was going to be Minecraft Steve as a Smash fighter.
Right.
But I'd never believe that, because I thought that'd be, as much as obviously Minecraft is a very high-selling game, in fact one of the best-selling in the world. I didn't want that, so I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
But no, the trailer, which I'm guessing you've seen, because otherwise I'd be like, Nick, do you know me at all? I'm guessing you've seen the Banjo trailer.
Yes, I have.
I think it was pretty well done.
Yeah, to be fair, it's pretty cool.
And it's nice that it's Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong who are like the ones there. As much as it calls back to King K. Rool's announced trailer, which was played out the same.
Yeah.
These were obviously characters where their current designs were made by Rare, and like there's just a lot of energy in it. And the music for the trailer was composed by the original Banjo composer, Grant
really?
Kirkhope.
That's pretty cool.
Which is the first international composer to work on Smash.
Oh.
And he was on Twitter later like, my god, I've been keeping this secret for ages. You have no idea. And actually, to be honest, just seeing all the reactions, because there was they were doing like, there's footage from like the Nintendo store in New York, and like a few YouTubers absolutely losing their shit.
Yeah, you should have done a reaction vid.
I mean, my one was, oh, cool. So that was basically it. Yeah. I then proceeded to watch the trailer again about 20 times. And I've watched it without fail every single day since it was announced.
Goodness me.
I'm very excited, Nick.
Well, I've watched the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga trailer every day.
You haven't, though, have you?
No. That's the thing I'm most excited about.
So other stuff from the Nintendo Direct, we saw some more of Link's Awakening, which is a remake of the Game Boy title for the Switch. It's all kind of styled quite cutely. They all look kind of almost like little dolls walking around.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out this year. It was confirmed that a sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild is in development, with a bit of cinematic trailer shown right at the end.
Ooh.
So that will be quite interesting.
I heard about this, but I didn't manage to catch it. Yeah.
It was announced that The Witcher 3 is getting released on the Switch, which I thought was pretty cool. Because that game is massive.
Yeah.
So that one actually is all going to fit onto one cart, it's been reported, because like there's games like the Crash Bandicoot trilogy and the Spyro trilogy, or it's only actually the first game on the cart,
right?
And the second and third you download onto the console.
Okay.
So the fact that this, a game that, according to Good Old Games, is about 35 gigabytes, is fitting onto one of those tiny little Switch carts, and it's all the DLCs as well.
Yeah,
I'd say, yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't, if you've got a Switch. And there's quite a good bit of like third-party showings for this conference. So that's good, because Nintendo had with the Wii U, they had a few years where they were carrying their own stable a bit.
Yeah.
And now they've got quite good cross support. I think Doom Eternal is coming to the Switch, which is pretty neat. I'd still probably rather play it on PC, but yeah, I thought Nintendo's show was just a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Which it always is, to be honest. There was one year where they did puppets, and another year where they joined up with Robot Chicken to make skits. So. But yeah, so outside of that, so there was a bit more of Pokemon Sword and Shield, but obviously the Nintendo Direct had come the previous week, so there wasn't that much. They just basically were like, we hope you saw the Direct.
Yeah.
But what has been announced as part of E3, and it was part of Nintendo's Treehouse streaming, which they did throughout E3, showing off all the games, was that Pokemon Sword and Shield will not have the national dex. Now this is because obviously each Pokemon game only doesn't have all the Pokemon in it. Some of them you have to move over from other games, and that's the national dex. This one will only have the Galar region Pokedex, and that won't have all the Pokemon in it. And that has made some people very mad.
Now you know what is good.
Because it's the first Pokemon game where you cannot actually catch them all.
Yeah, but you can. It's the first Pokemon game where you'll actually be able to complete the Pokedex in the amount of time you spend on a game.
That's the thing. It seems, as much as there is some warranted criticism, obviously, but the thing is, in this move to the Switch, in this move into having all the wild Pokemon like visible in the wild, all this new stuff they're adding for their first console release.
Yeah.
I'd rather they spend the time on that than doing the 3D modelling for every single Pokemon, or 800 however plus there are.
Yeah, me too. And is there still any way of trading into the new game?
So you can, but you only be able to use the Pokemon that are in the Galar Dex.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So Pokemon, yeah. So that's what's got people, because before you'd have to transfer Pokemon from other games to complete the Pokedex.
Yeah.
This one, there are just some Pokemon you just won't be able to play.
Oh, okay. So like, I thought you meant like just actually completing the Pokedex itself, but you could still use other Pokemon. But that's a little bit.
So you can still use like a great deal of them, you just can't use all of them.
Right, okay.
So I understand why people are upset, but at the same time I'm like...
Yeah. Whoever... I never managed to complete the Pokedex anyway, so like this...
I was going to say, I've never completed the Pokedex, not even in like Red, when it was like the easiest.
Yeah, with like 100.
So I'm a bit... I understand why some people are upset, but... It still looks good to me, and actually I'm more interested in picking this up than I was like the Hey You Pikachu ones from last year.
Yeah.
So you never know. That was... Oh, and talking of Nintendo controversies, Nintendo have reversed their position on playing with friends online in Mario Maker 2, and it will now be added to the game. So that's something we talked about a few weeks ago, but that to me is just like sensible. That's good. That's a good change.
Cool.
So what was your highlight of E3? Was it Lego Star Wars or was it Avengers?
It was Lego Star Wars. It was that 5-second or 10-second trailer of Lego Star Wars, where it does a little bit from the prequels, a little bit from the originals, and a little bit from the sequels.
I actually think that would be pretty good. It'd be nice to have all 9 in one.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if they've... It looks like... I don't know. I think they released a few more details after E3, but like it looks like it's going to be completely different gameplay. They got the new Boba Fett model on there rather than the rather than the old one, so I'm excited to see how some of these characters play as. I don't know, it's just kind of, it's the open world, by the sounds of it, it's the open world Star Wars game I've wanted my entire life, so happy days.
People are more excited for that than Jedi Fallen Order.
I am, yeah.
And obviously me, it's Banjo and Smash.
Yeah.
Which, you know. Like, you could have predicted that. You could have done my lines for this episode.
Yeah, probably.
But who cares? I don't care that's predictable. I've wanted that since bloody Brawl. So, what were your favourite games from E3 at home? Let us know on Twitter at Cynical Podcast. This episode is the season finale for season 4. Nick, we've managed 4 seasons of this show.
I know, well, 3.5 probably by the time you take out our early cancellation last year.
We only missed 2 last year.
Okay.
So we're good. And that was still longer than the first 2 seasons.
Oh, alright, okay. We'll let ourselves off.
Yeah, we'll let ourselves off the hook for wanting to take an early break. But this time we're taking the regular break. In the meantime, you can follow me at Haddoink.
And me at Mick Nortimer.
So other stuff you can watch whilst you're patiently waiting for the podcast to come back. We have a Lego Harry Potter Let's Play that's like half done.
Or fully done, depending on who you talk to.
Depending on who you talk to. We played that famous game Harry Potter Years 1 to 2. We did a Let's Play of Star Wars Clone Wars Republic Heroes a few years ago. That one's a good one.
Yeah, that is pretty good actually. Yeah.
Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
At the moment, me and my sister are playing through A Hat in Time on the channel every Friday, so check that out. Sorry, the channel is youtube.com/Haddoink. Me and Nick are working on some other stuff for later in the year that we'll hopefully be able to tell you more about when we've worked on it properly.
Yes.
Yeah, and in the meantime, if you just follow Synop Podcast, our personal Twitters, you'll be able to keep up with all the great stuff that we make in between Synop seasons. But until then, thank you very much for listening to another year of us ramble. I've been Phill.
And I've been Nick.
We will see you again very soon. Bye.
Bye.